All right, let's get right into it. We all know that feeling, right? Walking into a big meeting, a sales pitch, that first handshake. Your heart is pounding, your palms are a little sweaty, and that everything hinges on this first impression. Science tells us that people size you up in the first 7 seconds. 7 seconds. They decide if they like you, if they can trust you, if they want to listen to you. And that initial judgment, it gets cemented or shattered in the next 53 seconds. That first minute is everything. It's the entire game. So, the million-dollar question is this. How do you take control of that tiny window of time? How do you not just make a good impression, but actively earn a client's trust in that crucial first minute? It's not about luck. It's not about being a natural. And it's definitely not about faking it. It's a skill. It's a series of small, intentional actions that, when combined, create a powerful sense of connection and credibility. You can learn this, you can master this, and today I'm going to show you exactly how. Forget winging it. Forget hoping for the best. We are going to build a repeatable system for winning trust from the second you walk in the door. I'm talking about a playbook that will make you feel confident, prepared, and in command of every first interaction. It's time to stop leaving that critical first minute to chance and start designing it for success. Ready? Let's break it down step by step. Okay, step 1. And this is the one most people skip because it happens before you even say hello. Trust doesn't start when you shake their hand. It starts with your preparation. Think about it. When someone has clearly done their homework on you, on your company, on your challenges, how does that make you feel? Seen, understood. You immediately think, wow, this person gets it. They're not here to waste my time. That is invisible trust, and you build it long before you walk into the room. Your preparation is a silent signal of your respect and your competence. So what does this look like? It's not just a quick glance at their LinkedIn profile 5 minutes before the call. No, it's about deep diving into their world. What are the latest trends in their industry? What did their CEO say in the last earnings call? What are their customers complaining about on Twitter? You need to understand their pains, their goals, their landscape. This research isn't just for you, it's for them. It's the foundation upon which you will build the entire relationship. Don't just learn their name, learn their world. This extends to your own digital presence too. What does your LinkedIn profile say about you? Does it scream expert, or does it look like you haven't touched it in 5 years? They are Googling you, trust me. They are forming an opinion before you even open your mouth. Make sure your digital handshake is as strong as your physical one. Clean it up. Position yourself as the authority, the helpful expert they've been looking for. Your preparation is your secret weapon. It's the work you do in the dark that allows you to shine in the light. Remember this core truth. People trust those who show they understand their world. When you show up having already invested time and effort into understanding them, you're not just a salesperson anymore. You're a potential partner. You're an ally. You've already started building the bridge of trust before the first word is even spoken. This isn't just about knowing facts. It's about demonstrating empathy and genuine interest. That is the most powerful foundation you can possibly build. Now we get to the moment of truth, the first 7 seconds. This is all about your nonverbals. Before you say a word, your appearance, your body language, and your energy are screaming messages at your client. So you have to be intentional about what they're screaming. Let's start with your appearance. This isn't about wearing the most expensive suit. It's about showing respect. Dress for their world, not yours. If you're meeting with a tech startup, a 3-piece suit might make you look out of touch. If you're meeting with a bank, jeans will make you look unprofessional. Your goal is to look like you belong. Next, your body language. This is huge. I want you to walk in with an open posture. No crossed arms, no hiding behind a briefcase. Keep your hands visible. It's a primitive sign of trust. Make eye contact. Not a creepy, staring contest kind of eye contact, but a warm, confident gaze that says, I see you, and I'm here with you. When you shake their hand, make it firm, but not crushing. And smile. A genuine, warm smile is the universal signal for I'm friendly and I'm not a threat. It instantly lowers defenses and invites connection. Your movement matters too. Don't fidget, don't shuffle your feet, don't nervously tap your pen. All of those little movements signal anxiety and a lack of confidence. Instead, own your space. Move with purpose and calm. When you sit down, lean in slightly. This is a powerful nonverbal cue that shows you are engaged, interested, and listening intently. It subconsciously tells the other person, what you have to say is important to me. You are communicating your interest without having to say a single word. And here's the key takeaway for this chapter, so I want you to really hear this. People judge how you make them feel, often more than what you say. Your nonverbal cues are the primary driver of that feeling. You can have the most brilliant pitch in the world, but if your body language makes the client feel uncomfortable or on edge, you've already lost. Your confidence, your warmth, your engagement, these are felt things. Master them, and you master the first impression. All right, you've done your research, you've nailed the nonverbals, the door is open. Now what do you actually? The first words out of your mouth are critical. They set the tone for the entire interaction. Most people default to something generic and weak like, "Thanks for your time," or tell me about your business. That's a waste of a golden opportunity. You need an opening line that immediately demonstrates your preparation and respects the client's time. It has to land with impact. So here's what a powerful opening line does. It connects your research to their reality. For example, instead of a generic greeting, try something like this. "Hi John, thanks for inviting me in. I was just reading the article about your recent expansion into Southeast Asia, and it got me thinking about logistics. That must be a huge focus for you right now." Boom! In one sentence, you've shown you've done your homework, you understand their priorities, and you're already thinking about their world. It's not about you, it's about them. Another great approach is to acknowledge their time and state your purpose clearly. Something like, "I know you've only got 30 minutes, so I want to make this incredibly valuable for you. Based on my research into your third quarter goals, I have one specific idea I think could help you hit that 15% growth target." See the difference? You're not there to pitch, you're there to provide value. You're respecting their schedule and immediately focusing on a result that matters to them. This builds instant credibility and trust. This approach works because it flips the script. The traditional sales meeting starts with the salesperson talking about themselves, their company, their product. It's boring, and it puts the client on the defensive. A powerful opening line makes the client the hero of the story from the very first second. You're positioning yourself as a guide, a problem solver who is there to help them succeed. It shows you're not just another vendor, you're a strategic partner who has already invested in their success. You've opened strong. Now you need to back it up with credibility, but, and this is a huge but, you have to do it without sounding like you're bragging. Nobody trusts a show-off. Arrogance is the enemy of connection. The goal is to weave your experience and expertise into the conversation so naturally that it feels like you're just providing helpful context. You're not telling them you're an expert, you're showing them. It's a completely different energy, and it makes all the difference in the world. So how do you do this? One of the best ways is to use what I call problem-solution stories. Instead of saying, "I have 20 years of experience," you say, "That's a really common challenge. I worked with another company in the manufacturing space who was facing that exact same issue with their supply chain. What we found was that by implementing a simple tracking system, they were able to reduce their delays by 30%. You see, you've just communicated your experience, your expertise, and a successful result without ever saying "I'm great." Another powerful tool is data. Numbers don't lie. When you can sprinkle relevant data points into the conversation, it adds immense weight to your words. It shows you're not just operating on hunches, you're operating on facts. For example, a lot of companies in your sector are struggling with customer retention right now. In fact, studies show it's 5 times more expensive to acquire a new customer than to keep an existing one. That's why focusing on their problem is so critical. This frames the problem with authority and positions you as someone who understands the bigger picture. Here's the pro tip I want you to write down. Position yourself as a problem solver, not a show-off. Every piece of credibility you share should be in service of helping them. It should be relevant to their problem, their industry, their goals. Don't just list your accomplishments. Use your past successes as proof that you can solve their future problems. When your credibility is a tool to help them, they won't see it as bragging. They'll see it as a reason to trust you. This might be the most important step of all. So far, we've talked a lot about what you should do and say. But the real magic of building trust happens when you shut up and listen. The entire first minute, and honestly, the entire meeting, should be overwhelmingly focused on them, their challenges, their goals, their needs, their perspective. Trust doesn't grow when you're talking. It grows when the client feels seen, heard, and deeply understood. Your job is to make them the focus of the universe for that minute. The primary tool for this is asking great questions. And I don't mean basic, surface-level questions like, what keeps you up at night? I mean thoughtful, insightful questions that prove you've been listening and that you've done your research. Questions like, I saw that you launched a new product line last quarter. How has the market reception for that impacted your team's priorities for the rest of the year? A question like that does 3 things at once. It shows you did your homework, it invites them to share, and it focuses on what's important to them. Once you ask a question, you have to master the art of active listening. This isn't just waiting for your turn to talk, it's about absorbing everything they're saying, and honestly what they're not saying too. Pay attention to their tone of voice, their body language. Are they excited, worried, frustrated? Your goal is to understand the emotion behind the words. And as you're listening, give them signals that you're locked in. Nod your head, say, I see, or that makes sense. These small cues make a massive difference. Finally, you need to reflect their understanding back to them. This is the trust-building jackpot. After they've shared something, summarize it in your own words. So, if I'm hearing you correctly, the biggest bottleneck right now isn't generating new leads, but actually the time it takes for your team to qualify them. Is that right? When you do this, something incredible happens in their brain. They think, this person actually gets it. They were listening. Trust grows when the client feels seen and understood. Make them feel like the most important person in the room, because in that moment, they are. Okay, let's talk about the human element. Business is logical, but buying decisions are almost always emotional. We buy from people we like, people we connect with. Even in the most formal corporate setting, you are still just one human being talking to another human being. If you can create a small moment of genuine emotional connection in that first minute, you build a bridge that logic and data alone can never construct. It separates you from everyone else who is just there to talk business. So how do you do this without it feeling forced or weird? It's simpler than you think. One of the easiest ways is to reference something personal you learned during your research. Maybe you saw on their LinkedIn that they went to the same university as you, or they volunteer for a cause you admire. A simple, by the way, I saw you went to Michigan. Go Blue. I graduated a few years after you, can instantly create a bond. It says, I see you as a person, not just a title. Another incredibly powerful tool is a genuine, specific compliment. Generic compliments like, I love what you guys are doing, are meaningless. A specific compliment shows you've been paying attention. Try something like, I have to say, the user interface on your new app is incredibly intuitive. The team that designed that did an amazing job. A compliment like that shows you have good taste. You notice details, and you appreciate their team's hard work. It's a deposit in the emotional bank account. And don't be afraid of a little light, appropriate humor. A shared laugh, even a small one, is one of the fastest ways to build rapport. It breaks the tension and makes the interaction feel more human and less transactional. I'm not saying you need to be a stand-up comedian, but if there's a natural opportunity for a lighthearted comment, take it. Because at the end of the day, people trust people, not brands, not products, not titles. When you make a real human connection, you're not just a vendor anymore, you're someone they want to work with. You're at the 50-second mark. You've built rapport, shown you're prepared, established credibility, and made a human connection. Now you have to bring it all together and point the way forward. The worst thing you can do is end that powerful first minute with an awkward silence or a weak, so, any questions? You need to end it with clear, confident direction. You are the guide. It's your job to show them the path. This demonstrates leadership and respect for their time. You need to transition smoothly from rapport building to the business at hand. You are essentially asking for their permission to proceed, but in a way that frames it as a benefit to them. You're not taking over the meeting, you're offering a clear and valuable next step. This small act of setting the agenda shows that you are organized, you have a plan, and you are here to solve a problem, not just to chat. It puts the client at ease because they know they're in capable hands. So what does this sound like? It's a simple, confident transitional phrase. For example, well, it's great to finally connect. Based on what I've learned about your focus on optimizing their challenge, I've prepared a couple of thoughts. If it's okay with you, I'd love to share a quick idea that could help with that. Or, I really appreciate you sharing that context. It confirms some of my initial research. With that in mind, would it be helpful if I walked you through how we helped another company solve a very similar issue? This works because it's assertive but also respectful. The phrase, "if it's okay with you," or "would it be helpful if," is key. It hands the power back to them while still steering the conversation. You've successfully navigated the crucial first 60 seconds. You've earned their attention and their initial trust. By ending with clear direction, you've created a seamless bridge into the core of your meeting, and you've done it with confidence and control. You've won the first minute. So there you have it. The 7 steps to earning a client's trust in that critical first 60 seconds. It starts before you ever walk in the room with preparation. It continues with mastering your nonverbals, using a powerful opening line, and subtly establishing your credibility. Then you seal the deal by focusing entirely on them, creating a genuine human connection, and ending that first minute with clear, confident direction. It's not one big thing, it's a lot of small things done with intention. And when you put them all together, the result is powerful. I want you to remember this. Trust is earned fast or lost faster. That first minute is your one and only chance to set the foundation for the entire relationship. You can have the best product, the most competitive price, the slickest presentation in the world, but none of it matters if they don't trust you. You have to win the person before you can win the business. You have to prove that you are a credible, empathetic partner who is there to help them succeed. Think about your next big meeting, your next sales call, your next opportunity to make an impression. You now have the playbook, you have the tools. The only thing left is for you to put them into action. Because people don't buy from the best speaker or the flashiest deck. They buy from the one they trust. The question is, are you ready to win your next client in the first 60 seconds?